One thing that's getting around in neighborhoods around the city are skunks. A family in Pointe-aux-Trembles is dealing with some unwanted pets. Another family's trying to live in their yard. Problem is, it's a family of skunks, and what started out as one has grown. Malgorsa Skorabohohata joins me on the line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Hi. So how many skunks do you have?
Right now is the mother and 12 babies. 11 or 12 babies. I wasn't able to count them.
11 or 12 babies?
Yes.
When did you first notice them?
I noticed them like a few days ago, but it was only 7 babies. Like I noticed her like 2 months ago, but I thought she was going to go away. But she didn't. She stayed, and she was digging holes all over the front yard, and we were trying to cover that. Didn't help, but I think already she had the babies inside, and just a few days ago, they came out.
So do you know where she's living?
Yes, I know. It's in front of my house. It's just next to the entrance door, and it's a bit scary.
Yeah, no kidding. So have you tried to get rid of them?
Yes, we tried on our own. I did call so many people around Montreal, but then we tried on our own. We bought mothballs, whatever I read on the internet, but it wasn't helping. I think because she has babies, she's protecting them, and she doesn't want to go away.
And I understand you have a young child, right?
Yes, he's 17 months old, and the skunk babies are in front of my entrance door, and we enter there every day, and we have to be careful because they're coming out. They play the skunks. They're babies. I think they want to have a nice life.
I have to say the pictures that you sent are adorable.
Yeah, they're really cute, but it's a bit scary. I don't know if they're sick because they're not afraid of us, and they're like right there. When I open the door, I have to watch if they're not here. They're not there, like not to step over them.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm just going to ask you to listen in because I know that Bill Dowd has been listening on the line. He's the president of Skedaddle Humane Wildlife Control. Good afternoon, Bill.
Good afternoon, Sue.
So how often do you hear stories like this?
Well, we hear that day in, day out. We've been in business 25 years, and this is baby season not only for skunks, but also raccoons, squirrels, bats. So we're at the peak of the population, so to speak, now that we're into June.
Oh, yeah. I have to say I have a lot of sympathy. I have all those animals around me, but if I had to take the choice, I think skunks would be lowest down, as cute as they are. How dangerous are those little babies, though?
Well, the babies really aren't dangerous, but any animal or mammal has the potential to be rabid, and of course with skunks, the possibility of it spraying. And
even the babies, though?
Typically, if they're mobile, which it sounds like they're out now with the mother, which is another good point, is whenever you have a problem, is best to jump on that problem and hire a professional as soon as possible before the babies are born. So this time of year, the babies, if they're mobile, they can spray. And, skunks have very poor eyesight. That's why they have that capability of spraying. So you never want to come up and startle them or scare skunks, because then you run the risk of being sprayed.
Yeah, I used to have, when I was working early mornings, I used to have a skunk that was always in my front yard, and I used to clap really loudly, and I never had a problem, but I don't know, is that an urban myth?
For clapping?
Yeah.
Probably, because that's a loud, sudden noise. You want to kind of be quiet and move very slowly. They don't like the odor of their spray as well, so they don't really want to spray unless they're really life-threatened. So if you approach them cautiously and slowly, typically they won't spray.
But at this point now, she has 12 skunks. How does she get rid of them?
Well, we service over 75 municipalities across Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, so every city in Canada and the U.S. has a problem with wildlife. That's why one of the reasons we're franchising throughout North America now. But to get rid of them, it's a matter of getting them out from underneath the step, and by putting a screen down into the ground about a foot down and a foot out so they can't dig their way back in. Nobody owns wildlife in our cities. It's a matter of protecting your home and animal-proofing it to stop raccoons, skunks, bats, birds, squirrels, that type of thing.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I never really understood why, if you just prevent them from going in your house, aren't they just going to go into the neighbor's house? Like, I remember in the old days, we used to cage them and take them away to other neighborhoods.
Right, that's a great point. Typically, they've already been in the neighbors. All urban wildlife, for these animals to flourish in our cities, and every year our call volumes go up and up. For them to be flourishing in our cities, they have to have a multitude of den sites to survive in the urban landscape. So they've already probably been living underneath your neighbor's step or porch.
But I know that the solution that you propose is expensive. I think Malga called and it was upwards of $600. Why is it so expensive?
Well, a lot of times with skunks, we need to hand dig a trench a foot deep and a foot wide. So it's a lot of labor involved in digging a trench that deep and wide and putting a heavy gauge screen in so they can't dig. So you need to be cautious for electrical wiring buried underground, plumbing, gas lines, that type of thing. So it's very labor-intensive work. It's probably our most labor-intensive job that we have out there.
Are there cheaper ways to do it? What about the mothball thing?
Well, if mothballs worked, our trucks would be full of mothballs. Fortunately, it's some type of physical barrier needs to be put up. Homeowners can also try maybe putting some a garden hose under there later in the season when there's not babies. And if you keep the ground moist and wet where they're living, chances are they might decide to move to one of those alternate den sites. And they typically have that 5 or 10 den sites in a neighborhood. So you want to make your home as least attractive as possible for skunks.
Bill, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
That's Bill Dowd, the president of Skedaddle Humane Wildlife Control. Magorza, what are you going to do? Oh, is she gone? Oh, I think she may have gone. Oh, well, we'll tell her about the hose scenario, but I'd love to hear from you if you have skunks in your neighborhood, too. Oh, you're here, so what are you going to do?
I don't know what I'm going to do. For me, they're cute. They're nice. I don't mind them if they're in the different location of my house.
Yes.
But it's just in the front. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, and like they told me, it's between $800 to $1,200 to remove them.
Ouch.
And it's a bit expensive. And I think if we have a problem in Montreal, the city should help us at least to relocate or just, I don't know what to do, but like I'm afraid, I'm scared because I have a baby on my own.
Yeah.
He's walking, touching everything, and
okay, we're going to have to leave it there. I'm afraid we're coming to the top of the hour. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Maybe more people like me.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. That is Malgorzata Skorobohata. She is in Rivière, Pointe-aux-Trembles, with a family of 12 skunks.